And now your first Warn 5 forecast, certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
All right, good Tuesday evening, everyone. Very active weather, to put it mildly, around the region, of course, over the last several hours. Powerful cold front sweeping in across the area, tapping into a freshly returned hot and humid air mass. Very warm and humid air mass, but either way how you slice it, setting the stage for these storms across the area that we have seen all afternoon long. We talked about how we've gotten numerous reports of hail, especially out of the Midland area earlier on. Gusty winds being reported with these storms, but we also, in a couple of instances here, have seen some reports of waterspouts. This video was sent to us by Jenny Schwab off of Point Au Gres earlier this afternoon. You could see that big swirl there on the water, indicating that circulation did in fact touch down with that waterspout. But as it pans up, you can make out two distinct circulations, two funnels there. You got this little narrow one here, but then kind of pans away here. But you saw there too, kind of creeping down from underneath the banner, there was what appeared to be a much larger funnel. And there it is actually right here. Difficult to tell from the angle where we see the swirl on the water if those are two distinct circulations on the ground, but definitely at least kind of a multi-vortex waterspout there being seen off the Au Gres area. And this is another video. Bear with me here again, kind of with some of the bobbing here. But this was from Eric Robb out of Midland around the time that the tornado warn storm came through earlier this afternoon. And if you pay attention to the clouds around this bright spot here, you can just make out how those clouds, not necessarily creating a funnel, but they are definitely showing some signs of rotation. So that, of course, was what prompted that tornado warning in Midland and Bay counties earlier on this afternoon. And while we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings or, thankfully, tornado warnings in place right now, the threat of severe weather is not completely done. We do still have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect, including the Tri-Cities area to Mount Pleasant, everybody across the Thumb and the I-69 corridor until 11 o'clock this evening as this slow-moving system continues to barrel on through. And here's exactly why. We take a live look over downtown Saginaw right now. Torrential rains, blinding downpours coming on through. We can actually hear the wind and the rain battering away at the ceiling of the TV5 studios here in downtown Saginaw right now. Current temp 65, dew points at 61. A lot of us back in the 60s, just rain-cooled air coming through with these storms now. But, of course, still plenty to sustain these storms as they slowly march on through. We got a south wind coming in Saginaw, sustained at 16 miles per hour, but frequently gusting higher. Now, we look at the first Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar, and we see here live from MBS, big downpour coming down over the Argyle area with some embedded lightning strikes there. And all of these not really coming through in an organized, easy to point out line anymore, but it just seems like what we're happening here now is we're just destabilizing the atmosphere enough, and cells are just kind of bubbling up haphazardly and getting swept into the larger system. So we're seeing some scattered downpours in and around, say, Mayville to Otisville, even into the Flint area right now. But there's that blinding rain that we just saw over downtown Saginaw, moving in toward Vassar and likely to head up toward places like Caro and Sebring in the next half hour or so. Chesaning also in some torrential rain right now, trailing back to some lighter rain in parts of Gratiot County. But even once that's all said and done, we have another push of rain and likely some storms that'll roll in along I-69 and some other hints of some additional activity trying to flare up on the west side of the state. All of that will continue until this cold frontal boundary here works itself out of the picture. So, hour-by-hour forecast, 5 to 8 o'clock. Again, we'll just kind of continue to see these haphazard pop-up showers and thunderstorms getting swept up into the larger system. So, still that threat of some severe weather early this evening with torrential downpours likely as well. We see a lot of that activity start to focus on the northern Thumb again and I-69 by about 10 p.m. Some of it hanging on in parts of the Thumb until about midnight. And then it all finally gets out of here overnight and sets us up for a brighter Wednesday. But there will be the possibility for some isolated showers tomorrow afternoon. 56, the overnight low tonight. Thunderstorms diminishing, thankfully, as we head on into the overnight period. And then from here on the first Warn 5 7-day forecast, Frank, much quieter. Just some low shower chances here and there throughout the next 7 days. But temperatures mostly on the pleasant side, back to the 70s.